it does not know the difference between a joke or it takes everything literal. It is literal. Your mind is this manifesting supercomputer, and whatever you say into it, it says that is what I want. So whatever you tell your mind, that is what you'll have. That is what you will believe. So every word you say is truth within the subconscious. So this is why double meaning words have an effect on your subconscious, and this is why I'm raising awareness here. So talking is a tall king. You are either a tall king by talking, by using your words wisely, or you're a small king, because you create big or you destroy yourself with your words. So talking is Phoenician. This is phonetics. So this is etymology, is when you take the root words, but phonetic etymology is when you take the sound of the word. So talk and tour are the same, because when you talk, you're creating sound waves, which is a form of a light wave. And when light waves expand in all directions, it creates a torus field. And everything is torus fields. So if you affect one torus field, it affects every torus field in creation, as above so below. So what you say is affecting the torus fields around you and in your body. You are made out of these torus fields. This is why talking is torusing. You're creating light waves, sound waves, and you are permeating creation. And this is why the Bible tells you the tongue has the power of life and death, and those who love it will eat its fruit. So the tongue is what creates these sound waves that we are producing when we talk or speak. Okay? So this is what we are essentially doing, creating sound waves, and these waves are vibrating and they affect the cells in our body and everything. This is why words are swords. This is why the word is within sword. They are swords, they cut, they damage, because frequency is the only thing that can penetrate you without your consent. In the very beginning, the Bible, John 1:1, it says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God. It's obviously a metaphor. There was no spoken word out of a spoken mouth. It's basically saying God created the world with the use of cymatic frequencies, sound waves. Everything is sound waves, and this is observable. Geometry is the geometric shapes you see in the nature, like petals, how they're all perfect stars or five-pointed stars, or the Fibonacci sequence. This is all an effect of vibrational frequencies. It's all cymatics. Everything is created out of sound. Sound is the creation of the universe. So this is how powerful words are. It's a cymatic frequency. Hello. L. When you say hello, you're subconsciously implanting hell into your mind and the people around you's mind. This is why it's casting a spell. Even though you may pick up on it, but your subconscious picks up hell. That is what you're picking up, and that word holds a frequency.
3 tips to balance your hormones. Coconut oil is a hormone balancer. A 2012 study out of the Philippines showed
holds a frequency. The word hell, when you hear the word or see the word, activates thoughts within your subconscious. It activates, it stimulates it. What is everything that resembles hell in your mind? But that goes on within the subconscious without you realizing. Bless, when I bless you, I'm actually saying be less. So you're not blessing someone. You're saying be less. Appreciate. Weekend is when you're weakened. You see, they've casted spells on our cycle of life. The weekend is when you're weekend. You are weakened from the weekdays, when the days The working days are the weekdays, and the weekend is when you're weakened and you rest. Because in the days, you are in physical or emotional shock, unable to think or react properly. This is the days you're in. You're in a daze in the weekdays. See? Parents are a pair who rents. Because you don't, well, in this work we do own our children, but in the system we technically don't. You're a pair who rents. Slaughter. They want you to think that slaughter is laughter. You see how it's implanting messages in your subconscious to make these things okay? They want you to think slaughtering is okay, so they put the word laughter in slaughter. I'm telling you, people, the people who made this language are satanic. They are witch. These people are wizards. We're getting ran by wizards. Dark occultists and wizards. That is who we're getting ran by. And they've been running for thousands of years, and they know exactly what they're doing. They've covered all aspects. They've covered the language, the frequencies, the music, the food, the water. They control everything. In every aspect of your life, they have some part in it. And it's all occult knowledge through magic. It's all magic. It's all a form of magic. Awake. Awake is an event where the family and friends of a deceased gather before the funeral. That's awake. Why are we talking? Why is the word funeral? Why is death associated with being awake? See how they are planting subconscious messages in you. They want you to feel death. They want you to be the low vibration. And it's the same with mourning. Mourning is an expression of sorrow for someone's death. They're always associating death because these people they're running a death cult. It's a death cult. It's a satanic cult. A job is Hebrew for prosecution. Soldier is a soul dyer. If you go into the army, you're a soul dyer. They just use your soul to die. And then you just wasted your time in physical incarnation. Because you never die. You will never ever die. Ever. You're eternal. You never ever die. This body is just a suit. So you're a soul dyer if you go in the soul, if you're a soldier. S-O-L means soul or sun, because the sun is a soul. Music. So we say music. See, M-E-U-sic. Music. See how it's me-you-sic? Music. Me-you-sic, because music is frequency, and frequency penetrates your body without your consent. The music we listen to today is making people sick, mentally, emotionally, and physically. What you hear, what you see, goes into the mind, goes into the body and the spirit. It destroys you. It's hypnotism. Music is hypnotic. It's a form of hypnosis. When you listen to music and you can't think. You can't think. It makes your body move without you even being conscious of it. It's hypnosis. It makes you sick. The right music is good, don't get me wrong, but the music they use today is making me and you sick. And that's another one. When we say things are sick, oh, that's really good, so we say sick. It's another spell that you're casting. You're calling yourself sick. Your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference. You're calling yourself sick, ill. Spellcasters will often use the word abracadabra when spellcasting. This is because the word abracadabra in magic means I create when I speak. Every word you say is molding your mind in some form of way. Not only is it molding your mind, you're casting frequency, you're producing frequency, light waves, sound waves into the ether around you.
What if I told you that you could get booked and paid to speak? What if I told you that there was a proven system
around you? Okay. This is another good one. Look at the 5 vowels. A-E-I-O-U. They tell you to speak it in this order as well. They teach you this order, this exact order. A-E-I-O, you will pick up. We are taught to speak them in the specific arrangement because the last three letters have a double meaning. We're never taught that they teach you this, A-E-I-O-U, and they do that when you are very, very young. Because since the age of 7, so from 0 to 7, that is when your subconscious mind is wide open. So when a baby, why do you think they pick up on everything you do? If you say one thing, the next day they're saying it. It's because their subconscious is wide open to programs. Why? Because they're trying to learn what this world is. So their subconscious mind is wide open, taking in everything that you do, everything you say, your body language, the way you handle yourself, the way you talk to other people. They're taking in every little thing you say and do and making that a program so they can understand this world and the people around them. And at the age of 7, that is when their programs are written for life, and they will basically go off that for the rest of their lives. This is why it's important to look after what you do in front of your children. Not just what you say, your body language, the things you eat. They pick up on everything. They're trying to make a sense of the world. From the ages 0 to 7 in school, you learn this. I-O-U. It belittles you. You own nothing. No one has rights over you. This should not be real. There should be no government. We should not have. No one should be over you. Everyone is equal. Everyone is the I. Everyone is God manifested. So we don't owe anyone anything, but it's a spell in your subconscious. Signature. Sign your nature. Sig is sigil. A sigil is a magic. Is a symbol used for magic. A sigil. Sigil nature. So your signature is your sigil. And when you sign that, it gives mental power over you. Once you have put your sigil into that paper, they now have mental power over you. It's magic. It's all a form of magic and brainwashing. Okay? When we say the word the, we're trying to use God to manifest that. Okay? Because the comes from theo. Theo in Greek, which means God. So when we say theology, ology means the study of. Theology is the study of God. That's what theology is. Theo, when we say the, I am the, we are using God to bring it into existence. God is the I am. The I behind you, the I am, that's God. That's what manifested everything in your life. Everything in your life, that invisible creator inside of you has manifested everything you physically see. You are the invisible architecture, the invisible artist behind your life, the I, that's God.
Overall, tire status changed to
the only one. So when we use the word I am, well, this is how to bring the power to yourself. When we say I am strong, I am wealthy, I am free, I am financially free. When we say this, that I am, this is when we are bringing, we are directing vibrational frequency into our own being, into our own magnetic field, and into our own life. This is how we direct vibrational frequency and direct our word. So when we say I am directing my frequency into myself to manifest something external. Also known as the chi or the prana. It's just basically your magnetic energy. So speaking has the ability to change your genes and DNA expressions. When we listen to affirmations over and over and say them over and over for a long period of time, your genes will change. And your genes are a code for your external world, pretty much. Anything that is written in your genes will manifest into your external world. Okay? All of this is just done by your intentions, thoughts, and what you say. And if you think this is a conspiracy theory was a term invented by the CIA to...
I love trying to help people deeply connect with their problems and challenges and find ways out. And at the end of the day,
by the CIA to discredit, confuse, ridicule, and disqualify any alternative information that contradicted the mainstream narrative. That's what a conspiracy theory was. It was created by the CIA for any belief that went against their mainstream narrative. Hollywood, the biggest spellcasting scheme, cult in the world. Hollywood. I'm going to make a whole lecture on this. Hollywood is holy wood, which comes from a holly tree, which the ancient Phoenicians and magicians used to take the holy wood, it was called holy wood because it was the best wood to make wands out of and cast spells. That's why they get their name. And what is the films? All the films, all the music that comes out of Hollywood, it's all a form of magic, subconscious ideology. Fill your mind with this narrative. That's what they're doing through the movies and the music. Anyways, I hope you like this lecture. Thank you all for joining the Real University. I hope you're all learning a lot here, and looking forward to making some more awareness for you and more knowledge. Have an amazing day, people.
So Drake's streak of having a song on the Billboard Hot 100 was ended. Let me see, where was it? Yeah, for the first time in over. Oh shit, I can't even see what I'm typing. What the fuck? All right, here we go. For the first time in. Is it seen it? Okay. For the first time in over 2 years, there are no Drake songs or features charted in the Billboard Hot 100 this week. He's previously charted every week since April 2022. So Drake has charted literally for over 100 weeks, and you know, whether he was on a feature with someone or he had an original song, we do know in that span, I think he put out 2 albums, but he does his feature run and he's always had like a song in the Hot 100, right? Now, people are wondering, is Drake falling off? Is the run of Drake over? I do want to be very honest, and you know, for you K-bots, don't click me, just get out of here. I ain't really talking to y'all. But I am going to be honest. I do think 2 things is happening. I think Drake is in an interesting period, but I do think the music industry is in an interesting period. I think the reason why Drake doesn't have a song on the Billboard Hot 100 is because Drake hasn't been entertaining or not entertaining. Well, entertaining, but that wasn't the end of the sentence.
Where can I work as a personal trainer? You can make a full...
Drake ain't been fucking with his label like that. Okay? Which is kind of odd, because they gave him $400 million, right? Drake has been doing his own thing ever since this whole beef with, and he's always kind of done his own thing. I'm being very fair to him. You know, I've just heard notoriously Drake hits up his label a week or 2 out saying, I'm ready to drop. And if they had other releases, they move those releases back. Unless they tell him, you know, obviously he's with Republic. If they tell him, yo, big dog, Taylor's dropping. Of course, and he's rap that, like, he would change his shit. But everybody else just moves out the way for Drake. That's how he usually operates with his label. Ever since his beef with Kendrick, he's operated even less with them. Like, almost like niggas move like he's an independent artist. Now, this is the odd part of it, right? not only is he, you know, his label has zero. And by the way, I got to give a little bit of a crash course. These guys are signed to major record labels: Drake, Taylor Swift, Post Malone, The Weeknd. They're going through Republic, even Nicki Minaj. As popular as these people are, and yes, if they just dropped a song right out of the blue with no planned label support or the labels, you know, enticing the DSPs to show support, they're all going to make the charts because they're that big of an artist. But to continually stay on the charts and to really get a number one or get songs that's in the top 40, it's a reason why, I don't know if, like back in the day, they used to have this thing called, like, you know, pop music was basically top 40 music. So a song that consistently charted in the top 40 of the Billboard Hot 100, it was considered pop. It didn't matter the genre, it was considered pop. I'm gonna tell you why. Because it was popular. Popular mean most people would know, on average, the top 40 songs that were popular in the country. Now, that definition has been eradicated by a few reasons. Number one, you'll see some of these guys drop songs, and because it's streaming, they'll be number 3 on the charts just for the debut week. Then it'll drop to like 87, right? So a top 40 song doesn't necessarily mean it's a pop song anymore, because streaming has just changed the whole landscape of things. So let's talk about Drake again, right? It's kind of Drake could drop a song and chart. We've seen him chart. Maybe you thought he's charted a little bit lower than what you thought, because clearly we do know when he dropped Scary Hours 2, all 3 of those songs charted 1, 2, 3. Right? Now, granted, that was a planned release, but he's been doing this 100 gig thing where he's kind of like dropping music kind of through the website and through Instagram. Then it gets to DSPs. But I think his highest charting song was, I think, No Face. That was 20. That was the highest charting song. All the songs did chart. He dropped 5 songs from, I believe. So SOD didn't get put up. But Circadian Rhythm, Red, Blue, Green, No Face, and what's the other one? Oh my god. It's Up, right? And am I missing another one? Yeah. No Face, Circadian Rhythm, It's Up, Red, Blue, Green, and there's a 5th one. The one with Lotto. House something, yeah. It's still charted, right? Those are his lead songs. He's had features on a few people's, like Camila Cabello, 2 of those. Had 2 features on Gordo's. And even this new song is that like a corrido? I don't know. Like it's a Mexican artist, it's a Mexican type music, but he's featured on it. That's a feature. So he's dropped 5 lead songs, right? That had he's only peaked at 25. So let me give you a really just honest breakdown. What I really think. I think the music industry's fucked a bit. I think Drake is a little bit distant from what he hasn't committed to dropping anything, and he's testing out the waters. But it doesn't look good for him, right? It doesn't look good for him because what we have realized, and you know, whether you want to call this a knock, and this is where the K-bots are like, we're gonna clip this. I can't wait till he say we're gonna clip it. It's fine. It's like we're watching Superman bleed. Like this is, and I hope you understand the analogy. Like, Kendrick and Drake have never been in comparison to potency on the charts. Kendrick and even Cole. They've never been compared. Like, this guy's like literally, like he's 2 or 3 times bigger than both of them. These days, we're seeing Superman bleed because we're seeing Drake as human. Right? What does that mean? Without his label, without a planned release, he can't just get up like he used to do and just be like, yo.
You won't believe how old this couple is.
Excuse me? I ask people who are in really good shape what kind of diets they're on. Do you mind if I ask what types of music?
3-pack out at midnight, run it up. And what I mean by that work We're not talking about him being number 25, which, by the way, would be fine for every other artist. That would be amazing for every other artist. But we're talking about Drake. Drake is a guy, when he drops, we expect him to be in the top 20, top 10. Drake, at this moment, I don't think that's where he's at. And I think he's cognizant of that. Now, does it mean that if he announced an album coming for, or let's talk about the obvious, right? Because that's going to be also a testing ground, right? Him and Party Next Door. Honestly, Nevermind did 206 first week. What are we thinking that Drake and Party's going to do? Now, remember, Honestly, Nevermind gets a pass because it's a record that's a house project, and we know Drake is a hip-hop, R&B, urban artist. Also pop artist by just sheer enormity. But what will him and Party do? Him and 21 Savage at 400. Let me ask this question. I think if Drake doesn't do 300 with him and Party, he looks human. And I have to keep saying human because Drake had a run, I would say, for since 2013. He had a 11-year run where well, actually really 2012, because it started with the feature run where he's issuing the stimmies, right? When my boy was issuing the stimmies, it's over. So 12 of seeming like he wasn't human. There's no other artist, and I mean absolutely none, in hip that has been that potent. There is no Kendrick Lamar stimulus package. There is no J. Cole stimulus package. There is no even Nicki Minaj stimulus package. And when we're talking about stimulus package, I'm not saying that them being on someone's record doesn't help, but Drake has been known to bring you to the moon. Drake has been responsible for a lot of the... But my criticisms of Drake is saying that Drake's competition numbers-wise was never Kendrick. Like, he's outclassed that guy in every way, shape, or form. J. Cole, too. Drake is competing with his former self. So that's why I use the terminology where we might be watching Superman bleed. Right? Watch Superman bleed. Because there isn't a world that we see Drake dropping a project. And by the way, he didn't drop a project this year. So it's not one of those years like he's doing a Young Boy or a Young Boy Method or Young Boy Method or who else? Who drops like multiple projects in a year? Or Young Thug like Method where we would excuse Young Boy for selling 60K because we know, like, bro, he's kind of spamming right now, right? So it's not like, he's like, this is the only project you're gonna get. And anytime he did that for albums, we know his album sales went crazy for Young Boy. And then for Young Thug, it was a long time before he got to the point of doing like was it No More Fun or whatever? That he wasn't really selling over 100K, right? He was just kind of like doing these 30Ks, 40Ks, whatever, but until he started quality controlling it. If Drake and Party Next Door doesn't do 300K first week, now, what's my prediction? Let's say they drop in the next month or so. Honestly, my hope would be 350 or 325. I think what happens is if Drake does 280, now granted, some of this is his own fault, right? So this is like a really complex conversation that anytime I think when people see me criticize Drake, they just start going crazy. But anytime Drake Drake dropping a project with 21 Savage and doing 400K, He should be doing 800K. I just keep telling you, the nigga don't drop vinyls. He do nothing. The nigga he literally just, like, he's been so really red hot, lightning, white hot popping for so long time. He just throws the shit out. Travis Scott is selling everything, nigga. He's selling stickers. He's selling socks, toe separators. He's selling pocket protectors. He's selling keychains. He's selling everything, motherfucker. You get what I'm saying? Because he, you know, part of his brand is kind of showing that these numbers are, you know, enormous, and you know, this wave of feeling like you're in this Travis world, this astral world, if you may, is a wave that includes a lot of crazy numbers. Drake, I feel like he just doesn't give effort. So when he sold 400K with when he sold 400,000 with 21 Savage, I felt that could have been 600, 700, or 800 if he had put some effort into it, announced it properly, sell some vinyls. But he doesn't. Like, this dude's doing everything off streaming. You know, to put things in perspective, I just want to show you something which is going to go into another point I have in a little bit. Let me see. Give me 1 second. I'm going to show y'all. Which, by the way, here's the thing too. I think definitely, you know, I see Tyler the Creator announced his album. I think Tyler's going to do around 275 to 350 as well. So put it like this. Anyway, let me show you this.
If you have a car, the worst thing you could do right now is pay for auto insurance. Let me explain. So apparently,
Jelly Roll, he's supposed to probably be number one. He's competing with Charlie XCX. He did 40,000 in streaming, and he sold 95,000 merch-related things. Rod Wave did 1,500 in merch-related things, no vinyls, and the 125,000 is streams. So Rod Wave is going to be the number one stream artist by far, right? By far on this week's Billboard charts or next week's Billboard charts. Except he's probably not going to be number one. Why not? Because he didn't sell these bundles. Look, 95,000 of bundles for Jelly Roll, 55,000 for XCX. For Rod Wave, 1,500. So what you get to realize is, like, you know, even Drake don't sell shit. Travis does. That's why, like, Travis's numbers, if the whole industry did what Travis did, Drake would be still selling over 700,000 every time. Instead, Travis' last project did 500, and Drake's next project is not going to do 500 because he ain't going to do shit. He's just going, oh, check Spotify at midnight. But anyway, back to my spiel. Seeing Drake not be on the charts, but he did release 6 songs, which are solo songs. Forget the featured songs. And he released those songs in the last 2 months. It's told me that Superman could bleed. And what Superman could bleed is that Drake was the only person that we would have the conversation with to say he did not need the labels. Me and Carl Cherry, the guy who runs Rap Caviar, basically, that's my dog up there that pulled the strings up at Spotify. It's my dog. Me and him argued on my podcast about what Drake would do or be if he didn't have the labels. And Carl Cherry knew, and I knew, that Drake wasn't fucking with the labels because he like, that nigga wasn't like, oh, hey, here's a rollout plan. Drake would just pop up a week before, 2 weeks before, and they figure out shit on the fly from him. Watching this new period of Drake not having a song on, and I know he's gonna have songs on, we get it, like, you know, but I'm just talking about how quickly some of these songs fell off. What it told me is that Superman bled because Drake needs a label. He does need the label. None of them records the label supported. And that's why they're not on the charts. But usually Drake is so hot, and also the records are so hot, that them records are there without the support of the label. Drake not having a song on the charts this week tells me he need that $400 million they gave him. He need to tap into some of their resources that they work